Are we?
Type it in the chat.
Huh? I guess I will not tell you about the job interview I had that I don't really want to go on about.
You can. Okay. We'll save that for the after show.
Okay.
The afterbirth. We'll save that for the afterbirth.
There you go.
Spicy placenta, as featured in the hit video game Skitchin.
Oh, did somebody say kitchen?
Yes, right on cue.
Oh, that's good. I want to hear. I want to hear about Skitchin.
That's pretty good. You're getting the Skitchin guy back.
Well, I've been practicing.
Nice.
Not much else to do here.
Because your
These days.
Skitchin guy was turning into, like,
Drunk
Maybe
Adam
I'll do it.
Sandler.
was turning into a
Right.
nerd for a while.
It's true. But now Skitchin's back.
I like it. I'm for this.
Oh, I'm glad you are. I'm glad you are. Everyone likes to hear
know,
a little Skitchin.
I think Mike's right. It is turning into an Adam Sandler.
Whatever.
It is. It's Drunk Adam
It's still better
Sandler.
than
was
your
always-
stereotype. Yeah.
It was always a crappy Adam Sandler voice.
It was
Was
Upper
it?
Man with a skateboard.
Yeah.
Should we start recording? I'm going to start recording.
Yeah, sure. Why the hell not?
You can do that.
What else are we going to do?
Yeah.
Hmm.
Hmm.
Yeah.
That's what they say.
Yes.
Yes.
I was doing that to give you some room tone for when you edit.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
Hey, the Thrustmaster Ferrari 458 Spider racing wheel is less than $100 right now.
Oh. You can get in on it?
With just those pedals look like they would break the first time you use them.
Excellent. All right, should we do a clap? I think we should do a clap. I like the
Always
clap.
down for the clap.
Yeah, whatever.
You ready? 3, 2, 1. Beautiful. Those
It's a beaut, mate.
Is that the best?
Well, pretty much.
Ooh, the Thrustmaster T80 wheel is also less than $100 right now.
Is that all you're going to do this episode? Just look at...
Pretty
Thrust Masters.
Yeah. I'm the
Thrustmaster.
master of my thrust.
All right. Hello and welcome to episode 400.
Hello!
God.
Hey! Oh, ladies, hello! Having a good
ladies.
time.
Pretty ladies.
Oh, we're having podcast things and we're having all sorts of video talking about games. Live in.
All right then.
It's a shame about the rape allegations against him, isn't it?
Who, Cliff Clavin?
Is that who we're talking about? I don't even. Awesome.
I think it's. I mean, if it's true, then I'd say it's probably more shame for his victims.
Eh.
Really?
Why you gotta bring it down? Why bring it down? We're having fun.
This was a lighthearted podcast until that point.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Hello, welcome
To
to...
consider this episode our second.
Jesus Christ.
How have you not been murdered?
Hey, look, Phil's
Ow.
here.
How in the hell have you never been murdered by anyone?
I'm quick. I may not be strong, but I'm quick.
He's wiry.
The only conclusion I can draw is that you just haven't met very many people.
All right.
Yeah.
Try that again.
One more time.
Hello and well. Oh, God.
Rockabye, baby.
Hello and welcome to episode 421 of the Player One podcast from Monday, December 1st, 2014. I'm your host, Chris Johnston. With me, as always, is my co-host from the West Coast, Mr. Phil Theobald.
Yeah, it's December now, eh?
Yeah, it's December.
Yeah. Hey, did you have a good Black Friday?
Well, we'll get to that in a second. Come on, let me do.
I didn't know.
Introductions here.
You.
All right, from Canada, the Thrustmaster himself, Mr. Greg Stewart.
421 episodes, and I finally have a nickname I can get behind.
You get way behind it and power your way through it.
Yeah, I do need to be way behind it.
Just get a good running start.
Yeah.
Just don't move, honey. This gets dangerous.
Yikes.
Don't worry, I've been practicing.
All right, and joining us from the great state of Utah, Mr. Mike Phillips.
Hi. I don't get a nickname.
No
It's
nickname
fine.
for you.
No, it's fine.
Sorry. Yeah.
I don't really want one anyway.
I've been having a Mike Phillips kind of day today.
Oh.
Really?
Yes, today featured this season's first viewing of A Christmas Story.
Okay.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I'm currently watching the halftime show of the 102nd Grey Cup. I know CFL is your favorite FL.
I love a 55-yard line more than anyone.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And fourth downs are for pansies.
Absolutely.
And tonight we're figuring out where the elf on the shelf's going to appear in the morning.
Oh.
See, I just started a new product line of my own that I think is going to be wildly popular called MILF on the Shelf. And what happens is the kids go to bed.
I feel like
Every
we had this
morning-
conversation almost exactly 365 days ago.
Every morning they wake up and their mother has banged someone else in the neighborhood.
we did this joke last year, didn't we?
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, we did a Christmas song last year too, and we're going to do it again this year, so shut up.
Oh,
Wait, the same one?
Maybe.
Trot out all the old
And a
material.
baby.
All those hoary old
Oh, have you
chestnuts.
seen the MILF on the shelf?
For you.
You know, every time I see an Elf in the Shelf display at stores, and boy, they're everywhere now. That
Yeah.
Elf in the Shelf has taken off. I cannot help but think of you, Greg. That's
You guys treat it
every
like I'm
time
the
I
only
see-
person in the world that does this. That's the best part.
well,
Yeah.
I figure that when I go to a Target here in San Francisco Bay Area, they're just setting that up in case you show up, right? I can't imagine there's much other
your young
market.
children can have a joyless December. That's cool.
I don't understand, though, why it exists. You already have Santa Claus as a threat. Like, why do you need an
25
additional
days away,
threat?
my friend?
It's for when Santa Claus
Oh.
isn't enough
Yeah.
to threaten your children.
Man,
You think-
I don't
Now
know.
you can really
You think-
point to a creepy doll that's looking at you right at that moment.
I think
Yeah.
you need to learn how to raise children, for God's sake.
I know how to raise children with
Mm,
small
I think-
plush dolls.
After 3 of them,
I think
yeah.
at this time of year, I think it's important for us to all remember the real reason for the season, the original creepy man who's always staring at you, watching and judging everything
Phil.
you do.
That's a good point. That is a good point.
Yeah,
Hmm.
exactly.
The Jew on the shelf, I guess,
Oh,
is what
my.
you're saying.
No, they have,
Hi-ya!
because nothing can't be frozenized. They have Olaf on the shelf now.
Are you? Oh my
I'll
God!
tell you,
I saw
we've
that
had-
at Target.
We've gone to 2 holiday parades so far this year, and Olaf has been all over the place.
Mm.
Yeah.
For a split second, I thought CJ was going to go with some sort of frozen Jesus thing, but okay.
Unfrozen caveman Jesus.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, so
There's the,
how about that? How
the
about
birth
that Star
of
Wars?
Christoph.
How about that Star Wars trailer?
Is that out yet?
Yeah.
That's
I could not have predicted that it would be a movie full of computer-generated spaceships, so I was a little bit. I was fascinated by that.
yeah.
I have to say that I was surprised at the in-atmosphere maneuverability of the Millennium Falcon.
Mm.
Hey.
It's a nimble little minx.
It
That's
really
right.
is.
You're saying that's not realistic enough for
Well,
you?
nothing in Star Wars is realistic, but
Well,
I just
yeah.
thought it was, it just made me smile.
Yeah.
Actually,
It
Greg,
was a
the
cool trailer.
Corellian space freighters are designed to
Oh my
handle in. What?
Is this
No.
Skitching guy again?
Is that?
Let me get. This is a Wikipedia guy. He's a new character
Wikipedia.
I'm working on.
I like it.
Is that? I assume that's
It was a
thing.
cool
I
trailer,
assume
But
Wikipedia is a
it doesn't
thing.
really tell you anything.
No. Well, it's a teaser.
What'd you say, Greg? About
I said I
Wikipedia?
assume Wikipedia is an actual thing.
Oh yeah.
You did.
Absolutely.
Wikipedia.
I've never been, so.
Mike, are you a Star Wars guy? I thought you hated all things fantasy.
I thought Star Wars was the only thing you did like in the sci-fi
Yep.
universe.
Let me tell you, 1977, right?
Yeah.
I was 7 years old. That's the year Star Wars came out. That's the year the Atari 2600 came out. Those kind of things make an impression on a 7-year-old. So yes, I am a Star Wars fan.
All right.
Okay.
What about Jurassic Park? How do you feel about Jurassic Park?
Real quick. I want to go back to Star Wars real quick. I want to know what everyone thinks about the sword that everyone hates.
Oh.
Well, what difference does it make?
What difference is it?
They're all light. Like,
I mean, it does seem pointless. Like, why do you have these two little barbs on the hilt? I don't understand what benefit
I thought those
you
were
would
to
get from
protect
that.
you from somebody's. Isn't that like the same way real swords are designed?
Yeah.
Getting your hand cut off?
Yeah. I mean, look at Luke.
Which is,
Obviously, you need something like that.
If you'd only had that.
It's a
If you'd only had that,
yeah.
I guess.
would have changed the course of fake history.
It looks neat, and I think that is its intended effect, so I think it's fine.
I didn't have a
Yes.
problem with it.
Exactly. No.
Cool.
No.
I should clarify, though.
So you
I'm
were
a
saying about
fan of
dinosaurs, TJ?
Star Wars episodes 4 and 5. The rest of them are all pretty terrible.
Right.
Yeah. How do you feel about Jurassic Park then? Let's talk about that.
Well, that depends.
Love that first movie
That really depends.
and the books. They were good.
Actually, I liked the third movie as well.
What is wrong with
Can I
you?
say that?
Well, you
can say
TJ
that.
has that weird William H. Macy fetish.
Is that the
I
gymnastics
never
one
really-
where the girl does the uneven
No, that was-
parallel bars to
no,
her
it
That was the second movie.
Okay. Then
Yeah, that was
two and 3
yeah.
were both terrible.
That was when they ruined the second book. Was this-
I
Yeah.
don't think there was
the
any
second book
ruining
was,
in the second book. The second book was not very good.
Oh,
to
eat me!
begin
The second book
What?
was
with. It
great.
was not. No.
Did you read it?
The second book was. The second book was good.
Yeah.
Eh.
Second movie.
And the
was
thing about the second book was practically written as a script as well. That's the thing about that second
a
book
script that
was.
they decided not to follow.
Yeah, exactly.
But hey, that Jurassic World trailer looks cool.
Nah, I'm not going with you on that one.
It looks like another Jurassic Park movie. I don't.
As somebody who liked 3, I
okay.
am all in
Yeah, you
Jurassic World.
when you set it up that way, I can't really argue it. I'd be more surprised if there was any movie you weren't happy with at that point. But
Oh.
no, I can't. I just right from the opening scene, it's like, okay, so we spent 3 movies, and 1 good movie and 2 great books, talking about how setting up a wildlife preserve that humans can visit, featuring dinosaurs,
Yes.
is the worst idea in history.
Yeah.
Now they've just sort of gone all in on it. So I can't even get on board with that in the first place. But then I think the thing that really got me, I think where that trailer itself jumped the shark for me was when what's his name was riding a
shark showed up
herd of
and,
raptors.
I think when the giant dinosaur jumped out at the
ate
shark.
the shark. It didn't
Ate
jump
the
the
shark.
shark. It ate the shark.
Yeah.
But the whole thing looks so ridiculous to me.
I am down with that.
It looks
Give me a
like the
ridiculous
Independence
dinosaur
Day
movie,
of
I'm
Jurassic
into it.
Park movies.
I'm into that.
You know what? I'm all for riding around with a bunch of trained raptors.
God.
At this point, they're just saying, you know what? Let's just go stupid with it.
It's like, you know
Run
what?
stupid with it.
You know what? By the time
Why
people
not?
see this scene, they'll already have given us their $10. So, fuck.
Well, they gotta have something that little kids can recreate with the figure.
What?
I mean, great scene. When it's being recreated on your living room floor, Greg. Come on, admit to that.
CJ going to the full marketing route there. Good job.
Yeah.
So is that movie next year as well?
Yes.
I believe so. Yes.
So 2015 is
I
going to
wanna
be a pretty
point
good
out-
year for movies.
I was totally stoked after the Furious 7 trailer. I think Jurassic Park looks stupid. Figure that one out.
You're an enigma.
I'm just trying to put a little. I'm trying to put a little perspective on this here.
My particular movie fetish, to match your Fast and Furious one, and CJ's Jurassic Park one will manifest itself when I tell you I'm most excited that next November there's going to be a new Bond movie. So I'm all about
I love James Bond.
I freaking love Bond movies.
Sure.
You a Daniel Craig fan?
I love Daniel Craig. I think Daniel Craig's great. Absolutely.
My brother-in-law and I are both crazy about the Daniel Craig Bond, and we almost came to blows with his dad over it when the Casino Royale came out.
I'm guessing he's a Sean Connery.
He's a big Sean Connery man.
Yeah.
And he did not like the Daniel Craig Bond one little bit.
I like the Daniel Craig Bond a lot.
Yeah.
My previous favorite Bond.
Timothy Dalton?
That's my previous favorite Bond.
Really?
Really?
I did not expect that.
Yeah. He was excellent.
Because I can't stand him.
One of the movies he was in was dreadful, but he was a good Bond. He reminded me the most, so I had read the books a lot as a kid, and he reminded me the most of what I pictured Bond to be like from the books, actually.
Okay.
I don't know why.
All right. Okay.
You were in a George Lazenby?
How do you feel about the Lazenby?
The one-hit wonder.
Yeah.
Yeah, not so much.
I couldn't get into that movie.
He was poor.
Yes.
So
as was that movie. Hello.
We're past Black Friday now.
Whew.
And Thanksgiving. First of all, maybe we should talk about Thanksgiving. How was your holiday?
Over a month ago.
We're in.
I heard that.
Freedom-loving America who celebrates Thanksgiving at the right time. How was your Thanksgiving, Mike and Phil?
Mine was delicious.
Yeah?
It involved a lot of delicious food and gorging myself on it. I'm all in favor of that.
Yes.
That was good.
Yes.
Lots of that. Black Friday deals, did you partake in any of that? Do we have anybody here who has recently purchased an Xbox One?
No.
A year ago.
When your Thanksgiving was.
No.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Down to $330, so occasionally with gift cards.
Yep.
Well.
That's pretty cheap. Yeah, if I were in the market for one, that would be a heck of a deal.
That is a heck of a deal.
I'm going to wait for them to raise the price in January before I buy.
Want to make sure they get your money's worth.
Mm-hmm. I'm waiting for the big price increase.
Yeah. All right. And so no Vita software deals. I saw that as a criticism.
No Vita software.
Hi-oh.
Ba-dum-bump.
Womp.
Yeah.
That's kind of a bummer. I don't know why they wouldn't do that.
Especially,
I believe the next time there are any deals on that hardware, it's going to be under the name clearance.
Not hardware, just software, like on the store or something. They should have.
Yeah,
some good Vita deals.
Yeah.
I went to Best Buy before the Black Friday madness, and the Vita section in general just was like one little area, and also had PSP games in it. Common
weird
thing that I see.
I was in a Best Buy today, and every part of their video game section looked like a tornado had gone through it, especially the Skylanders section. The Skylanders section was disheveled.
They're making money hand over fist with those things.
Yeah.
How about the Amiibo section?
I didn't see an Amiibo section. The Disney Infinity section was relatively undisturbed, but the Skylanders section was ravaged.
You know why? The Disney Infinity section was relatively undisturbed? Because Disney Infinity makes Skylanders look like a good deal.
The figures specifically, then? They're too expensive?
They're too expensive and the game's too limited.
I see.
What about you, CJ? What were your big Black Friday purchases?
I did not make any video game related purchases on Black Friday.
No more Amiibos?
So pick up a number of $4 Blu-rays. So
what $4 Blu-rays did you get?
Well, I can't wait to hear this. Buckle up.
$dollars, a few dollars more.
No, I picked up
Mannequin 2 by any chance?
No.
On the move?
But, maybe I should go back and see how much that is. No, I picked up Christmas Vacation, which is
excellent.
I'll allow that.
Yep, very worth it.
National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation.
In case you're alphabetizing them, it should be under N.
The first Despicable Me, which Charlotte has not seen. I've not seen it either.
You have a child, I'll allow that too.
Yeah.
Shut up, Phil.
And a 3-pack with Planes, Trains, and Automobiles.
Great movie.
First 2 vacation movies.
Okay, well, you went 66% on that deal.
Yeah.
No one wants to watch
I would agree with
European
that.
Vacation again.
Not bad, Johnston.
No one wants to get the song "Pig in a Poke" stuck in their head again.
I think I've only ever
good.
seen that movie once.
It's bad.
Yeah.
But it's got like the French strip club scene, right? And you get to see some boobies.
It's got the replacement for Anthony Michael Hall as Rusty, who was
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true. But what are you gonna do?
Well, Christmas Vacation, you have the Big Bang Theory guy
That's
in as
true.
Rusty. So
Yeah.
It's funny, I can't look
So-
at him and think of anything but the show Roseanne.
really,
That's where
I
I
can see that.
remember him from. I don't really watch Big Bang Theory, so.
Yeah.
well, good job. You're doing okay then.
Less than you, anyway.
All right. So Ubisoft this past week, has apologized
Mhm.
for releasing Assassin's Creed Unity in a broken state, and
You mean like Utah, or?
Ba-dum-bum-ba-dum.
and they have pulled the season pass off of digital storefronts, so you can no longer purchase that. And,
you can still buy the broken game. You
you
just
can
can't
buy the
subscribe to their
yeah.
DLC.
That's
good.
right. Instead, they are offering at least like one of the missions free to game purchasers.
Well, I thought it was all the
Hmm.
It might be. I only saw that one thing in particular. But if you had purchased a season pass, you now get a free Ubisoft game instead.
I'm glad they're doing something, but I don't think that's the right thing to do.
No?
The free
Well, what's
Ubisoft
the right
game is great, but I think that should be an option. Otherwise, just give me my money back.
Yep,
Admitting the thing's broken, give me my
I
money
agree
back.
with that. Totally.
Yeah. That's true. That but they probably like money, and they probably already accounted for
They
it in their year-end.
Kind of reminds me of Jurassic World. By the time they figure out it's broken, they'll already have spent their money. And speaking of that,
Yeah.
no copies of The Crew.
No review copies of The Crew. Yes, and they are saying that the reason that is because it's
Because
large.
it's going to be completely broken.
It's going to be a large open world, and they want reviewers to have the complete Crew experience under the.
I don't disagree with that, although I don't believe for a second that's the reason they're doing it.
Well, maybe.
I feel like I'm already having the complete Crew experience in the beta because I can't connect to the servers ever. So that's been. I'm pretty sure that's going to be the full Crew experience.
I was able to connect once.
There was some.
It was underwhelming.
There was some producer that went on record by saying that he does not believe that the Crew will have trouble come launch day.
Well, then the beta is not indicative of the final product.
He also believes in Elf on a Shelf.
Yes. Wait, what?
Yeah. So no reviews of the Crew until after launch. So
that takes the pressure off all those news outlets.
Yeah. Whew.
That's right. They can get back to reviewing Captain Toad Treasure Tracker.
They can get back to telling us why the good sales of any recent Nintendo title is a bad thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I believe you're referring to. Nice segue there, by the way. Referring to the article that went up on Boy Genius Report and then got mirrored over at Yahoo.
Boy Genius.
What is Boy Genius Report?
It is a tech website.
It's obviously an ironic name.
Find various reviews and news and such. And one of the writers there said that Nintendo should make mobile games because, of course, Pokemon is slowly poisoning them. Despite the fact that it's sold.
Yeah, what with all that money?
Yeah, well, everyone knows that when you suck on money, you get poisoned. So yes, it is slowly poisoning them.
Stop putting the coins in your mouth.
Mm-hmm.
Too many ass pennies from the good folks at Pokemon.
Yikes. Yes.
Wow.
But the article also suggested, Nintendo has all these great franchises that would work so well on the iPad, like, F-Zero, or they could add monetization to Animal Crossing, and that would be so great. They'd make billions.
Such a tired argument, and it's so disingenuous, because, like, you can, like, overly monetize anything.
Yeah.
It's, what about Nintendo properties?
So how come...
Good for that. Anyway.
How come all the money from Pokemon is bad, but money from buying a couch in Animal Crossing would be good?
Consumer friendly.
Yeah. See, they could be making billions by making games that have their hand out every other second for money rather than on the 3DS.
Have your hand out looking for those pennies you mentioned earlier.
Yes.
Right.
Well, that article seems ill-advised. Having not read it, I'm going to say that might not be as well thought out as perhaps it should have been.
True. I agree.
Okay.
I love that, a year or two ago, people were like, oh, Nintendo should make mobile games because they'll make millions of dollars or billions of dollars on them. Not thinking, of course, that even at the time, the market was shifting to free-to-play and microtransactions, and now you have this guy like saying that, oh, they should just monetize every little thing in Animal Crossing, and that'll be so great. Awesome. Love it. Anyway, let's talk about some video games. That's bringing me down.
I mean, we kind of just were.
Yeah.
Well, let's talk about games we've been playing, though, and I want to hear about.
But I've been playing Pokemon, so we were talking about.
Cut his mic. Just cut his mic.
Yeah.
Games that I've been playing.
Speaking of Mike, tell me what your high score is in Crossy Road.
My high score
in
Crossy Road is 242.
Really?
Yes, sir.
Holy crap.
Is that 242 roads crossed?
That puts me in 3rd or 4th place on my friend's leaderboard. 242.
Damn.
The actual leaderboard,
this
I think, is
road?
probably bullshit because someone has 9,999. So I'm guessing that is somehow hacked because fuck off, that is not possible.
Yeah, definite hack.
It is.
Crossy Road.
Crossy Road is a new genre called an endless frogger.
Endless
Frogger, yeah.
Exactly.
Okay.
That is a great way to describe it. Yeah, you pick an animal. You start off as a frog, I think, and you can unlock additional animals while you play.
Mm-hmm.
Or humans.
It's
or robots.
Yeah, exactly. You basically
robot
jump
frog.
across the land just like Frogger.
Yep. It's actually very, very good. And it's very, very free.
Frogger was very, very good, so that makes sense.
Yep. It's an excellent game.
Yeah.
It's very well put together.
It is.
Is it like Flappy Bird? Is it like the Flappy Birds?
Not at all.
It's like Frogger.
It's like Frogger.
When I said it was like Endless Frogger, what I meant by that was that it's like Frogger, but endless.
I don't.
But it is from an isometric perspective rather than a top-down perspective. But the graphic style is very cool. It's like a kind of 3D voxel-ish looking kind of thing.
Yes.
Some of the different characters that you can get actually change what the level does. I don't know if you've seen that, CJ, but like if one of the characters you can get is a gravedigger, and it turns everything to nighttime, and sometimes ghosts appear. And if you play as Frankenstein, everything turns to black and white and has this weird film grain filter on it. It does some really clever things.
Oh.
And it don't cost nothing, and it's really, really fun.
It is really fun.
I'm looking on the Wikipedia here, and apparently you can play as PewDiePie as a dog. Apparently that's one of the unlockable characters.
I don't think it's called PewDiePie in the game, but yeah, it's a PewDiePie animal.
I do have one called Poopy Pigeon who poops as he runs across the level, so that's good times.
Well,
and there is one called Unihorse that has a rainbow coming out of its ass as it goes, so that's good too.
Yes.
That's got to be some sort of Adult Swim.
Sounds like it.
Copyright infringement right there.
Could be.
Yeah, you guys should be suing
in the morning.
Yep.
Yes.
For free, though, I highly recommend that game.
Yes.
So Endless Frogger was coined by the Cooch.
Was it?
The Cooch coined the term Endless Frogger. Crossy Road has invented the Endless Frogger, and it's brilliant, says Ben Kuchera on November 21st.
Dirty.
Oh, so we're deleting this whole first
podcast.
section of the show.
Edit out the part where I said that.
Okay. Yeah. Well, tell us what else you've been playing. You it looks like you partook in some Black Friday action with at least one of these games.
Well, I did. I also played another iOS game that is apparently Kojima's Game of the Year for 2014, called Framed. I don't know if you guys have heard of this game at all.
No,
I have not.
Yes, no?
No.
So the whole thing, it's like a kind of noir spy drama thing, not with any text or vocals or anything. It's just strictly in art style and animation and music. But it's like a series of comic book panels, and you hit the play button, and it shows your character trying to escape from the cops through these comic book panels, but they're all placed out of order, so that instead of escaping, he gets grabbed by the cops, and the object of the game is to reorder the comic book panels so that your guy escapes, basically, in every single page. Which sounds pretty boring, but it's really entertaining, at least, just to see what happens in each of these situations if they're put together the wrong way. There's no real way to... there's no particular challenge to it, because if you fail, you just keep trying over and over again. So it's basically just a series of trial and error until you see how the panels get put together to actually correct the scene and make your guy escape. But watching all of those different ways that the scene can play out is pretty entertaining in and of itself, and just sort of looking at the panels as they're empty and trying to figure out, okay, as my guy passes through this panel into the next one, what's going to happen, and is he going to be able to jump over this gap or go down these stairs or whatever to avoid the police, is kind of an interesting little thought process to go through as you're rearranging the panels. It's pretty fun, though. And the music is fantastic. The animation is really good. The art style is great. It's worth checking out. That one, though, is $5. So if you are sensitive to prices on iOS, that is, $5 may as well be $1 million on iOS. But I feel like I got my money's worth. It's really well put together. It's really well constructed. And
you're really
fun
well
to
put
watch
together.
And fun to play. Thank you. I've been working on it. I did my first ever 5K race on Thanksgiving. I run all the time, but I had never done an actual organized race before, so I did that Thanksgiving morning.
How did it go?
Fun. It went well. I did not, because I had never done this before, I did not understand race etiquette, so I started out in the middle of the pack behind a bunch of fucking kids and elderly people, and so I'm sort of like jogging behind them for a while, like, is it okay for me to just push in front of this old dude, or what do I do? So I cost myself some time there, but I still finished with sub 8-minute miles.
Several broken hips later.
Exactly.
It's like that episode of Seinfeld where George has the fire in the kitchen and pushes everybody out of the way.
Exactly. Yep. I did almost run over a little kid at a certain point, then had to maneuver quite deftly, I might add, to avoid knocking over a little girl.
It's not easy for a man your age.
That's what Thanksgiving's all about, really.
Yeah.
Definitely avoid squashing children.
I don't know if it's specifically a Black Friday deal, but that Lord of the Rings game, Shadow of Mordor, is half price on PSN, so I bought that.
Ooh.
Because I felt like $30 was the right price.
It's a good game for $30.
Yeah. I was not sure whether I wanted it or not, so I was on Skype with Mr. Pete Dodd, and he said, hey, why don't I have it, so you can just check it out via SharePlay. Have you guys used SharePlay yet? Mm-hmm. SharePlay's pretty badass.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
He said, so if you're not sure if you want to buy it or not, we'll just check it out right now. So he booted up the game, invited me to his system, and turned the control over to me, and I just played his game save just to see if it was like a better demo than a demo, because I was just kind of plopped into the game and could do whatever I wanted. And so I played it for 15 or 20 minutes and thought, yeah, that's good enough that I'll throw $30 at that, and so I bought it. There's a little bit of input lag when you do SharePlay, which I think anyone would predict, but I was still able to do all of the the timing on the counters and things like that still worked just fine, and it did not look as good as it does when you're playing it natively, of course, but it still looked good enough that you could get an idea of what the game was like. So
yeah, that's a very cool feature.
Yeah, I'm kind of a fan of SharePlay. I am surprised that there aren't more people that sort of trumpet that feature because it's pretty cool.
It's so easy to forget it's there. That's the problem with it. It's very much a. I think it has. I think a lot of people just haven't experienced it because it's just so easy to not even know about it. Yeah. I didn't even think about it until I used it the first time.
But man, if you see that a friend has a game that you're interested in and you just say, "Hey, can I check that out via SharePlay?" Even if there's not a demo for it on the store, you get a chance to play it for as long as you want. See if you want to get it or not. That is a really cool feature.
Mm-hmm. You can play it in hour-long bursts. Right?
There you go.
Which is more than enough time.
Absolutely.
Something.
Absolutely.
So that game itself, Shadow of Mordor, none of you guys are playing that, are you?
I played a couple hours of it.
That is, man, you got to really want to fight a lot of dudes.
Oh yeah, it's all about combat.
It is essentially a Dynasty Warriors game. Like I think Phil would really love that game.
One of the things that I really liked about it is that. I mean, yeah, I guess you could say it's essentially Dynasty Warriors in some ways.
There's nothing else to do but fight dudes.
But there is a exploration aspect to it, and if you
can explore more places to fight dudes.
And there's sort of I think that the enemy AI is more interesting in that it's not just guys appearing and running straight at you constantly. That's not the whole game.
It isn't?
I think you're playing wrong. If that's what's happening to you, you're not playing right.
The captains don't do that, but all of the grunts do that.
Well, stop letting them see you. Okay. I stalk half of them. I do more stealth kills than anything in that game.
Yeah, you can do that, but as soon as you alert anyone, there are 5 million orcs to fight. And at that point,
run away like a little baby.
I'm not going to do that. Fuck that.
And that's why you're not going to win.
I'm not a Lord of the Ring for nothing, mister. Also, the combat is not particularly interesting. The combat is sort of
It's like Assassin's Creed, right?
I'd say it's closer to Batman, but
it's very close to Batman, but not as good as Batman. You got to really, really like tapping the square button a whole lot.
So it's little Dynasty Warriors that way too.
Yeah. You mash the living Christ out of the square button until a triangle button appears over a guy's head, and then you tap the triangle button and then go back to mashing the square button.
I will totally agree with that. It's when you're playing it, you can see shades of the Batman combat, and it's like, oh, this could be so close to being really, really, really good.
Yeah.
And it's not quite there.
The one thing I think it does do better than Batman in the combat, though, is the way the animation, maybe it's just because of being on new hardware, but the animation is a lot more fluid. Like going from enemy to enemy, or even like flying across the screen to another enemy. Doesn't just look like
you're jumping to a new animation?
Right. It's smooth and fluid, and it always looks really, really cool. And the game itself is really beautiful, but I can't play that one for too long before I have to set it down because I start to get a little bit of carpal tunnel in the thumb from mashing that square button.
Seriously, that's funny. I would love to just watch you play for a while because you are obviously playing completely differently than I am.
I go balls out. I dive into the middle of those bastards and just start jamming the square button.
Sometimes. And
They're there for a reason, my man. Use them or lose them. I don't regret paying $30 for it, though. I feel like $30 is about the right price for that game.
Yeah, you're getting a whole lot of game for $30.
Yep. Yeah. I played a bunch more Dragon Age as well because I had a feeling that I was just in the initial stages of that, and it has opened up a whole lot more than it had before. That series is so weird to me. I feel like all three of those games are so incredibly different. They're like bound together by their lore, but the three games themselves could not be more different in terms of the way they play. The first game, Origins, is a standard, a typical kind of Western RPG. It feels like an old computer game RPG, which is essentially what it was. Dragon Age 2 was like an action RPG, incredibly linear, small, And then this game is World of Warcraft. All of a sudden, it's like, hey, people dig World of Warcraft. We're gonna make that. At least at the point where I am in the game, it is a whole lot of find a new zone. Here are 11 million things to do, including killing 5 of these, gathering 10 of those, talking to this person who tells you to go talk to that person, then go gather 5 more of these. There's a lot of that going on right now. So hopefully it pushes past that too, because I'm having a really hard time sticking to any sort of linear story thread in that game. It's mostly a series of chores for me to do right now, which is not exactly what I was looking for, but it's decent enough. Has Dana started playing it yet?
She has not, actually. Okay. She's been too busy with National Novel Writing Month to get into it, but
NNM.
Soon.
NWM, yeah.
Yes.
She's writing a novel.
She actually finished today.
Really?
Yeah, she just finished it, apparently, yeah. Yeah, she's actually been doing that for the past, I don't know, 4 or 5 years, something like that.
That's kind of awesome.
That's nothing. I know people who've been writing a novel for 20 years.
I will certainly be interested to hear what she has to say, because she liked both of the previous installments, right?
She was lukewarm on 2, but
that's the right
overall. So we'll see.
2 was so weird and so tiny, and so I think it basically was retelling West Side Story. It was a lot of Jets versus Sharks.
Oh man,
basically.
That makes me want to play it. Are there a lot of musical numbers?
There are a few musical. There's a lot of snapping.
Oh man.
Yeah. Yep, it's good stuff. So yeah, Dragon Age, better than it was last week, still not quite what I want it to be. So tune in next week to see if it evolves further. And the other 2 games I played, I don't have much different to say than before. Far Cry is still awesome. It's still basically Far Cry. And Little Big Planet 3 is incredible. It's very, very good.
Yeah.
You should all be playing it or hate yourselves. That's all.
Well,
if you're not with us, you're against us.
That's always been my philosophy. That's America.
It is America.
There you go. Phil.
Yeah.
What do you feel about Christopher Walken being Captain Hook in the Peter Pan?
What?
What's this?
Have you not heard
I think go.
Have you not heard that? I think NBC is doing
go a little something like
Jesus
this.
Christ.
We're getting there. I'm sure we are. All right.
Yeah.
Do you want to explain it, Phil, or do you want me to?
Explain what?
Christopher Walken and Peter Pan.
The Christopher Walken is in.
I didn't know about this.
You didn't know about this? Well, look it up on the internet. You'll see some amazing images of him as Captain Hook.
Oh, really? I know they're doing a live-action Peter Pan movie, right?
No, this is not a movie. This is a broadcast play, like a stage musical.
Really?
You say broadcast play. It sounds like you're saying a moving picture. It doesn't sound picture. What's a broadcast?
Okay.
I've not heard about this. They did The Sound of Music last year, I think, or 2 years ago, whatever. And they're doing it again, although it's Christopher Walken and Allison Williams from.
They really accentuate the cheekbones there on him, huh?
Who is this for? Who wants this?
I
don't understand.
I don't know.
Let's be honest. Phil kind of wants it now.
But I'm just confused. Peter Pan being played by a woman? That doesn't make sense. I've never heard of such nonsense.
You country bears.
Listen, you bears. You'll never raise enough money.
We've gone this far. All CJ wanted to do was have you say you country bears.
I know. And I wasn't.
It gets to the point
I wasn't doing it quick enough.
Yeah.
Phil, will you just
the whole point of this.
You are right.
Phil, will you just say you bears? You bears. Listen,
you bears.
Your little country bear jamboree
He looks hideous.
You will never earn the money needed. Your country bear jamboree hall will be a parking lot. I'm the evil
All right, Phil.
businessman. Yeah?
I've set Phil off on a tangent. Let's talk about what you've been
Yes, you did. It's your own fault.
Yeah.
What have I played? I played a little Smash Brothers.
Smashing Brothers.
I played a little Smash Brothers.
I'll tell you what. Let's talk about Smash Brothers for a minute.
What?
Because I have never been a huge Smash Brothers fan, only because I've never really played them very much. I gotta tell you, this past week I've played a lot of Smash Brothers.
Yeah?
I'm really enjoying myself. Yeah.
It's a fun game, especially if you're playing against. I assume you're playing against your kids.
Sometimes, and sometimes, and just later at night, I just play by myself.
Yeah.
But
yes.
It's a fun game until you go online and get your ass handed to you.
I haven't done that yet.
If you're starting on like difficulty 2.0.
Yeah.
It sort of starts you off on. That's a good place to be.
I gotta say, I don't know what it is like for everyone else. 2014 is like the year of the game that doesn't work. For Nintendo, it's the year of the terrible front end. Like, what are they thinking with?
Yeah, they.
Well, here's
they
about
got
that.
a little crazy with those Smash menus.
Structured. The interface for Smash Brothers is they know what most people want, right? They want the immediacy of getting into a match with their friends or jumping online, and then they kind of keep the solo stuff to a secondary, like 2 levels down, so that if you're just playing by yourself,
I gotta say, CJ, I mean, if I had not looked at this, I would agree with what you're saying, but I don't agree with what you're saying at all.
Okay, that's fine.
Their menu does not need to be that confusing.
It is kind of
to get online quick,
convoluted.
And the thing that really was killing me with the Wii U version is, of course, again, the standard controls for that game are bizarre.
Oh, you mean press up to jump?
Any sense? And so you go in and you change your control scheme, but it doesn't. You can't set it, as far as I can tell, you can't set it as the default scheme. So every mode you go into, you have to set it to your control scheme, and you have to do it in different ways in a lot of the different modes.
Okay, is that because I went in and defined a fill scheme, but then it never actually
so if you
uses it.
So if you go into, say, just the Smash mode or whatever it's called, like the main mode on the front end, and you choose a character. This is on the Wii U version. Under the character, it will say a name. Okay?
Yeah.
If you click on that name, I forget what happens, but that's not what you have to do. You have to actually select the little border surrounding the name.
Okay.
If you tap on that, then you get to select from your different control schemes.
Oh.
But the thing is that if you go into like classic mode, or I'm not sure if it's classic mode, but there are various other modes in the game. That's not how you switch to your scheme. You actually have to use, I think, the start button to switch. It's just terrible, inconsistent, and it's so frustrating because what CJ said is true. I want to get in and play as fast as I can, but there's so many different modes to play. I want to jump around, but without fail, for the first time I entered any one of those modes, I had to back out and pick the correct control scheme because I'd either forgotten to do it or I'd done it wrong.
Huh.
So, but anyway.
Yeah.
Outside of that, game's a lot of fun, and I think my son has got a new addiction because he started playing the 3DS version this week, and he's nuts for it.
Yeah.
He's very invested in Bowser.
Time to get on those amiibos.
No.
How many amiibos are you
getting hooked on those?
2014. That's the real question. Although I guess amiibos are not yet compatible with 3DS games, so you're safe for now.
Yeah, because they haven't released that whatever it is, right? That hardware.
Oh, yeah, the base station or the new Nintendo 3DS.
So what does having an amiibo, using an amiibo with Smash Brothers do for you exactly? What? You don't know.
What does it do?
What you do
you can have it
is you
or you
go
can have
into
fight.
the
Okay, stop talking at the same
mode, and you start. You scan your amiibo. He pops up as a second player, and then what you can do is you battle against him, actually, and as you fight
each other, yeah.
Well, yeah, I guess you could do that.
But
you fight him. As you fight, he starts to level up, and he actually starts to learn your sort of fighting style.
He's a thinking machine supercomputer.
He's a thinking machine. And then when you exit out of the mode, you have to scan it again to upload the data to the toy. And then what you can do is you can just keep leveling him up and make him a stronger and stronger opponent, or you can bring him in as an AI partner to fight with you as a team.
Okay.
So
there
you go.
Another question, because I know since you have Mario Kart 8, you've probably tested this. I hope you've tested this. Does any of that transfer over to Mario Kart 8 if you use the amiibo in Mario Kart 8? Is there anything that transfers over? Like, is it a higher level AI character or something? Or
yeah, the only thing the amiibo does in Mario Kart 8 is unlock those outfits.
Wow.
Yeah, the only game available now that saves any data to the amiibos, and the way I read it is apparently Smash Brothers is going to be the only one. Is Smash Brothers, and there are games like Hyrule Warriors and Mario Kart that use the amiibos to unlock various things, but it doesn't save anything back.
Okay.
Right.
So
yes.
That's underwhelming.
I did use my Link amiibo to unlock the exclusive weapon in Hyrule Warriors, though.
The spinner.
Hyrule Warriors just got updated with some new features. The new DLC came out, and the amiibo support was added. So I totally got my spinner weapon.
Up to 5 amiibos a day and get just random rewards from them.
Yes.
So like
yes,
I got 50,000 rupees from one.
What I got from what you just said is you're going to go buy 2 more amiibos.
No. Yeah.
Not yet, anyway. Yeah. The day's coming, though.
Yeah. What else you got, Phil?
Yeah. Played a little more Pokemon, and I played. Actually, you know what? I didn't play this yet. The one Black Friday sale that I took part in, the PS4 version of Sleeping Dogs. Which, have you played the Sleepy Dogs?
Not yet.
Okay, that's a fun game. And they had the PS4 version for $30. $30.
Yeah.
And it has all the DLC and everything in it, and that game has a crap ton of DLC too. So I broke down and picked that up, and it actually it arrived today. Strangely enough, it was Amazon. Amazon's doing their Sunday delivery, so
by drone.
So there we go. Yeah,
sweet.
Came via drone. It's pretty cool.
Right, then.
Hey, CJ.
Yeah.
Has that copy of E.T. always been on your shelf back there?
No, that's new.
Wow,
Did you just
found it?
That's right out of the landfill. Don't lie.
I just
did you
there.
You just got that from your eBay auction? Has that been officially crushed?
That had been rumored to be in CJ's closet for years. But no one knew if that rumor was true until just recently. When CJ walked into his closet and said, "Yep, there it is." Right where
Microsoft is financing an elaborate into CJ's closet.
Yeah, right. No, I purchased that back at the Classic Gaming Expo in the early 2000s.
I believe I was there.
You may have been, and then I got it signed by Mr. Howard Scott Warshaw as well.
Yes.
Although I did have to buy a copy of his documentary Once Upon Atari, which I was already planning on doing.
That was that wasn't a punishment of any kind.
No, exactly, not a punishment. So, so there you go. Yeah, it is a brand new copy of E.T. uncrushed.
Look at that.
It's not worth anything.
You know what is hilarious? It is worthless. Yeah, that is. You could get maybe $10 for that.
Yeah.
Now smash it and put a little concrete dust on it, and you're looking at like $75, $80.
At least.
And being part of history.
1,500, right?
Oh, well.
Something like
what?
that. Yeah.
Is that what those are actually going for?
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Friggin' broken copies of games that cost like $4 if you just buy them. Yes.
They're urban legends. You're not buying the game, you're buying the urban legend.
Man.
Yeah.
Yeesh.
So I played a little more Pokemon as well.
Yeah?
I'm up to 3 badges.
Yeah. Oh, congratulations.
Yeah.
I still just have 1.
You know,
I got my 1 badge.
One thing I am now remembering why I didn't so much like Ruby and Sapphire originally, it's because so much of that is like traversing on water or across water to the next thing that you have to do.
Yeah.
You don't get the flying power for your Pokemon until later. So there's a lot of walking around
usually the case anyway.
Using Surf to go through the water a lot.
I thought isn't flying traditionally one of the last things you get?
Things.
Just because it would open up the entire map, pretty much. I mean,
no, I think it's around.
I think you might be
maybe. I don't know. Anyway,
I think you might be romantic. Well, considering you're not even at the halfway point.
That's true.
You have 3 out of 8 badges. You are not at the halfway point.
It's also just how the map feels very disconnected and disjointed, since everything is you have to take a ship to the next point. So that's what I'm saying.
I don't know.
That's what I'm saying.
I don't know. Why do you hate Maritime?
I love Maritime. Come on.
Why do you dislike the sea?
I love Wind Waker. I like Wind Waker, and that's got a lot of sailing in it.
Yeah. It's true.
Yeah. What are you laughing at?
Hold on there, I gotta...
Nothing.
Things that have a lot of saline in them that I like. Anyway. I also finished, and I put that in quotes, air quotes, Super Mario 3D World. Apparently I didn't actually finish it.
Ah.
Hey, Phil, send him out when you're ready.
Why do you think you've not finished it?
Because apparently when I bragged about finishing it on Twitter, people said, no, you've not finished it. There's a couple more worlds to go.
And they're also like, welcome to 2013?
Yes. So, but that's a good video game.
Been there.
Gotta say.
It is a good video game.
Sunset Overdrive, the first bit of DLC came out for that weapons pack. So I went back and did some stuff in that. That is a fun video game. You all should be playing it. Greg?
I don't have this
unopened.
Unopened. All right.
If the main character were a Lombax, I would probably already have a system and this game.
Yeah.
Mine would be open.
I wonder if one of the costumes will be Lombax-esque.
That would be awesome.
Already you can get a lot of stuff to put on your head, including like a Fizzy, who's the game or the soda mascot. You can get a Fizzy head. It's part of that. So anyway, that's a good game. So I purchased Geometry Wars 3.
Sweet.
Which
nobody
else did.
That awesome indie title?
Awesome new indie title from Sierra and Activision. Yeah, it's pretty good. It's got all the classic modes, and you can basically play anything that was in Geometry Wars 2 in this. And then they also have an adventure mode, which has different score thresholds you have to get to unlock new areas. Yeah, it's pretty good. I'll play some more of that, I'm sure.
So does it play exactly like the old games, or?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just a twin stick shooter.
Twin stick shooter all the way.
You sound a little less than enthused.
I have not played very much of it. I've played up to the first boss in adventure mode and played maybe 1 or 2 of the classic modes.
Okay.
So, there you have it.
Okay.
And with that, I will turn it on over to Greg. Do you want to talk about The Crew at all?
Well, like we kind of mentioned at the beginning of the show, there wouldn't be a whole lot to talk about because wow, is it hard to get on the servers.
I have never succeeded. I've downloaded that thing and I've tried multiple nights in a row and I have never been able to connect.
The very first night that I tried, I was able to connect, and I was pretty underwhelmed by it. The driving model is I can't even put my finger on it. There's something weird about it. It just feels off somehow. I don't know if the cars are just a little too floaty. I could not find a happy camera angle for it. Like I find in some games, some driving games, like if you're behind the car, and in open world games, I usually tend to do the behind the car view, but it can lead to a
master, of course.
Yeah, it can lead to a nice. By the way, it's in the middle of my thought. Now it's gone. No, it can lead to what feels like input lag because like if the game is if the physics are good, then of course the front of the car is turning, the rear of the car is not right away. So you it feels like it has lag. And that was definitely how this game was feeling. So then I switched to the different views, like the in-car and the bumper cam and everything, but it just never seemed to go away. There's some. It just feels sluggish. The game feels sluggish.
Like a wet sponge.
And then if you're getting into like areas that have any sort of terrain undulation at all, the car feels really bouncy. It just wants to hop all over the place, and like it's on really, I don't know, the springs are way too sprung or something. But
what I'm hearing is that I should just delete this beta and stop trying to connect to it.
Pretty much. And then I really wanted to play it some more to see if it was just like the initial impressions, after you play it for a while and get used to it, maybe that goes away, because that will happen, but I haven't been able to connect since. So it effectively, I actually pre-ordered it just on a lark because it was cheap, but I'm not even going to open it. I'm just taking the receipt and taking it right back because it didn't seem terrible to me, but it's an open world racer and it's extremely underwhelming and it didn't look all that great, and Forza
and the servers are not going to work.
The servers are not going to work, and Forza Horizon 2 does everything it's doing better. Even from playing it for like a half an hour, I can see that and I can feel that, so I don't know why I would give this game any of my time. Based on
I love it when reason prevails.
So,
well said.
I actually wanted to try to cancel the pre-order, but wow, is that hard to do on Best Buy's website?
Imagine
I could not find the place to do it.
By the way, I've just looked at an image of Captain Hook here, and it looks for all the world like my 7th grade science teacher, Mr. Stokes, as Tim Curry, as Christopher Walken, as Captain Hook.
Yes.
So yeah, the crew, very underwhelming. Server issues, yes, they're inevitable. They're going to happen.
Definitely.
But once you get connected, it's not worth it.
When you get it, I'll play it via SharePlay on your machine.
Yeah, no, you won't because it's going right back.
No, you'll be playing it on Pete Dodd's machine again.
Yeah, probably. That's more likely.
All right, let's do some tweets. I think we should. All right.
God, I love tweets.
First one from Hackeralius, Jeff E. Solomon. Says, what would it take for you to stop buying games at launch?
Common sense.
I have mostly stopped. There are a few exceptions, but I have mostly stopped. And it always pays dividends, whether that's waiting for a game to actually function properly or, in the case of something like Lord of the Rings, getting it for half price.
Right.
It's always a good move. Ben Kuchera had it right. Telling you, the Cooch. He is a real. He is a soothsayer. That guy.
If it wasn't for the amount of money that I can save through the pre-order deals every year, like $20 off a game is not insignificant.
But are you saving money if you're buying 3 times as many games as you would?
But I'm not.
If you're not taking advantage of this?
I'm really not buying more than I would otherwise.
Are you sure about that?
Yeah, I'm positive about that.
Okay.
All right.
But that's the only reason. Otherwise, I mean...
By the time you open that copy of Sunset Overdrive, it's probably going to be $19.99.
That is true.
That's true. But I saved money on Forza Horizon 2. I saved money on Drive Club, played those right away. Saved money on Smash Brothers for the 3DS and the Wii U.
Mm-hmm.
Playing those right away. I mean, what I just described there, I saved over $100.
Yeah. Well, you had to have Drive Club at launch to get the full experience. That's for
true.
Sure.
But otherwise, Far Cry actually is a good example. Far Cry 4, I had originally ordered the special edition because they had listed it at this regular price. And then they quietly canceled those pre-orders and didn't. If they told anybody, I didn't get my email.
Sweet.
So that's why it never showed up. And here I am. I still haven't gone out to buy it because I know I wouldn't play it right away. So,
exactly. You have a backlog.
Yeah, so I will save money on that because of exactly what Mike just said.
Yeah, that'll be $40 by Christmas.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'll grab it then.
Perfect.
Exactly. If a game is mostly single player and I know that I'm going to be interested in it, I'll probably still buy it at launch. But
yeah, same here.
If it's a Nintendo game, I'll buy it at launch, right?
Yes.
Yes. The answer
makes sense.
Yes.
Besides which, Nintendo games tend not to go down in price anyway.
They tend not to.
You're not really gaining much by waiting.
Every other publisher, yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Let's move on to this one. Hacker alias Jerkface Killer says, why do you guys think games still have a press start to begin screen in 2014? Why doesn't the game just begin?
Because you want to look at
the game to just begin.
Yeah, options and shit first, right?
Yeah.
Am I the only one that does that? Like when I first boot up a game, I look at all the options first, and then I press start to begin.
Because I have to go in and see if this game was made by the type of godless heathen that doesn't invert the y-axis.
I will say though, you start, and then you're presented with a menu that has your various save slots and options.
That is weird. Yeah.
Yeah.
It should just boot to the list of options, basically.
Yes.
And what if I just put the game in? I put the game in and let it load up while I go get a soda to drink. What if I?
It's a great point, Phil.
Maybe you should be an adult and plan your time so that you get the soda before you put the game in.
Of course, that's what the load time is for.
It installs and downloads a patch, but
yeah, exactly.
It's true.
When I'm filling my bowl full of Doritos, pouring my dew.
Got to get my Doritos.
That's right.
Watch the Cheetos dust off.
Can't game without it.
It's gamer fuel.
Yeah, man. That's right.
Yeah. Besides, you have to get through all those company logos and the Havoc Engine logo, all that stuff. Yeah.
I have to know that a game was created by a diverse set of people with different religious beliefs and ethnic backgrounds, so that I won't take offense to their blatant racism.
Assassin's Creed?
Yeah, every Assassin's Creed game starts with that disclaimer.
Oh my god! Yeah. I've only ever really played the first one, so
so you won't get mad and think that they're bashing any particular religion or race as they do.
Wow, man.
Well, also, if
we're bashing in a particular race or religion, but we're fully aware that we're doing it, so that makes it all right.
Yeah, just dude, there are black guys on the team, so it's totally cool.
Going back to press start to begin,
my favorite book about video games, by the way.
Yeah.
If we have resume as the Xbox One does on some things, or the PS4 is supposed to have it, then you won't have a start screen in the traditional sense. And which game was it? Was it Killzone that didn't have company logos? It just went right into the game. There was something when the PS4 came out where it was different than everything else.
Might have been.
I don't know. Maybe.
Anyway, let's do this one from Hacker alias 311 Phillies, or maybe that's 311 Phillies. I don't know. Anyway,
311 Phil lies.
Definitely that. Definitely that.
I have told 311 lies in my day.
This episode.
So what are everyone's thoughts on Majora's Mask, and will you be getting it day one when it's released next year? I'm sure, Greg, you've already pre-ordered it.
No, I haven't pre-ordered that one yet.
Oh, okay.
But if I can get it for a little bit of money off, I will. Otherwise, I'll probably... I don't know if I'll get it launch day, but I will play it. I really, really enjoyed revisiting Ocarina of Time. And I dig me some 3D, so...
Yeah.
I got two things going for it.
Mm.
Yeah, I actually started up Ocarina of Time 3D again because I never finished it, and that game looks really good on the 3DS. I like it. I liked Ocarina of Time quite a bit. So
it was one of those, like, it's probably Link to the Past I've played a bunch, so it kind of never feels new anymore. But Ocarina of Time, it had been since it came out that I'd played it. So, it was almost 20 years.
Yeah.
So it felt fresh. It didn't look fresh, but it,
right.
I didn't remember exactly what to do every step of the way. So it was actually it was a fun experience because I was getting to rediscover it. So Majora's Mask will be exactly the same because I have not played that since it came out.
Yeah, me neither. And I did not finish Majora's Mask.
Neither did I.
I finished Ocarina of Time, but not Majora. So, Phil, what do you think? Majora's Mask, what are your thoughts?
I haven't played through the Ocarina of Time, so
really,
I don't know if I'm going to be picking. Well, not the 3D one, no.
Oh, okay.
So I don't think I'm going to be picking it up right away necessarily.
Yeah. Mike, were you a Majora's Mask guy?
No. Nor am I an Ocarina of Time fan. I did not like Ocarina of Time.
Really?
Why?
Link
to the Past. Because I felt like it was just a Link to the Past with the camera tilted down. I'm sure we've talked about this before. It was kind of a disappointment.
Maybe we have.
After Mario 64 was like, here's what you could actually do with Mario in 3D. Instead, Ocarina of Time is, here is a 2D Zelda game in 3D.
All right, then. Hacker Alias, Well-Fed Games, says,
God damn it, you're skipping that on purpose because you know that I want to make a terrible joke.
I am not skipping it on purpose.
Yes, you are.
It's going to be the last
talk
tweet
about
we do.
Oh, okay.
Hacker Alias, Well-Fed Games says, what bit of gaming history deserves its own documentary? I'd love to see one on the creation, licensing, and impact of Tetris.
That would. Well, there is one
cool.
of those. The BBC did one.
The BBC did one.
I think it was called From Russia with Love, actually.
It is.
Yeah, and look it up.
I have it on my hard drive right here.
Yeah.
From Russia.
I saw a web series that did a really good job talking about the whole Tetris kerfuffle. It was Generation 16, I believe.
I love that
name.
Show. I love that show.
I would love to
they
see
did a big thing about
if they could do one about the Saturn launch, like everything leading up to that, and the decision to do the sort of surprise launch.
And it's funny because I think with Console Wars, Blake Harris's book, to me feels like proof that it's been long enough that the players in that whole saga are kind of ready to talk, and then none of them work for Sega anymore anyway, so they're kind of ready to talk about it, and they're not worried about the repercussions of it at this point. So it definitely would be a good time to do something.
That would be cool.
Yeah.
I'd love to hear about that.
Yeah. I want to see. I want to see inside Microsoft.
Right now,
the Xbox One launch.
A year and a half ago, when they were ready to.
That would be great.
Announce the Xbox One. I'm sure it'll be.
Yeah.
Waiting for the Dean Takahashi book.
I want it narrated by Jay Allard. God damn it.
I'd love to hear about that.
That would be great. I would love that.
You know what? I'd be curious to see, something that kind of goes into the founding of like a video game website, especially if it was, not just your typical video game website, but something that was trying to maybe do something a little more than what we've seen before. Maybe sort of redefined.
Games journalism.
Yeah, why not? I'm sure that there's something out there that
would be worth watching.
I'd like. There's been a lot done about Atari and the birth of Atari. I'd like to see something about the death of Atari. When Tramiel came in and everything kind of, he basically killed the console business and everything leading up to and past the Jaguar. I think that would be pretty fascinating. There's not a lot of information about that out there, so.
Oh, Lynx and Jaguar era Atari? Yeah.
Did any of you guys ever own Atari computers?
No.
Growing up, there was always an Atari computer in my house. We had a 400, an 800, a 1200. We had a 520 ST and a 1040 ST.
Wow.
We always had Atari computers.
It's like you grew up in the UK.
Wow.
Were those big in the UK?
I don't know.
Hey, did you have a Conix? A Conix?
Yeah, Commodore.
I don't know what a Conix is.
KONIX?
KONIX.
Conix multi-system?
I don't know what that is.
Well,
I think it was the Commodores and the Spectrums.
Yeah.
Commodore and Spectrum were your...
in the UK.
Well, the UK was really big into microcomputers.
Yeah.
Amstrad. But no, I never had.
Speaking of Commodore and the Spectrum, did you guys ever see that game School Days? Because
it's a lot like Bully, right?
Man, that game is awesome.
We've never talked about this before.
Yeah.
It's
all right.
Kind of like imagine Bully, but to the extreme.
Yeah.
I rock the mic like a vandal. Light up a stage and wax a chump like a candle. No, you weren't doing Vanilla Ice lyrics? No. Okay, never mind.
You know what I miss?
I'm always doing Clean 5.0 you used to drive around. I'm always doing Vanilla Ice lyrics to my... That was CJ and my Deadline CD. That's what we listened to.
Yeah. The Vanilla Ice Live CD. Where every track you skip to it and it just starts with Vanilla Ice going, oh yeah. Great.
Those were the days.
And now, as a 44-year-old man, I have teenage daughters who are listening to Iggy Azalea singing the lyrics as they tromp through the house, and I hear them saying things like "pussy power." That's great. Jesus. I'm excited about that.
Aww.
That's adorable.
Aww.
Yeah, it's about cats.
Man, Radio Disney is getting edgy these days.
Totally. Yep.
Well,
if you're gonna have a power, though,
that is a power. Yeah,
that's a good one.
Sure.
Yeah.
Super Mario 3D World. It's an important one.
Pussy power. He had a cat suit. How was that not the headline of the Polygon Review? Super Mario 3D Land Review, pussy power. I'm surprised it wasn't.
But I think this week, maybe this week when they post their Captain Toad review, we'll see if my prediction is correct on their subhead.
What was it? I don't recall.
That?
Oh, Captain, my Captain.
No, they don't. Someone is.
Just the right amount of just pretentiousness.
I just want to write Polygon Review headlines for a living. That's all.
Wouldn't you go with Totally Awesome?
No.
That sounds like something you're reading even now.
You don't know how Polygon subheads.
I guess not.
Yeah. All right, let's wrap it up with this last tweet.
Here we go. You can see look at the grin on Mike's face.
Hacker Alias bad or essing? Just kidding.
He's still a bitch.
Hacker Alias Beard the movie says, what game needs a porn parody?
All of them.
I think we're back to talking about Captain Toad. Suddenly.
I don't have an answer. I just wanted to hear what you guys said.
Let's see.
I don't know.
Dynasty Warriors.
Oh,
I would like Ubisoft to release a parody of Just Dance called Just Fuck. And you use the Wii Remote to simulate various sexual positions.
I used to
or
love
your
this show.
Kinect. I mean, you could do them all. Reverse Cowgirl, 69, you name it. You could even bring in the Dirty Sanchez, do some Glass Bottom Boat, Donkey Punch, all of them, all the greatest hits. No? All right. Never mind.
Would that be a Kinect game?
Absolutely. Better with Kinect.
Better with Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Don't
look up Glass Bottom Boat.
I got nothing.
Yikes.
I don't want to participate because I don't want to encourage him.
I don't know. I already have the Mario one. So
that's true.
Yeah,
on VHS.
Well, that's old school.
Have you watched it?
Not recently, because I don't have a VCR anymore.
That's the reason. It's the reason is because you don't have the right machine to watch it. Not.
Have you only ever watched between 3 and 5 minutes of it?
Well, I was fast forwarding.
There's another way to watch porn.
You wanna hear the awkward truth?
Oh no.
You wanna hear the awkward truth?
Hell yeah, I do.
Yeah, go ahead.
I know two people on this show may have watched some of that together.
That's true.
DJ and I were roommates once.
I want Ubisoft to make that into a game.
And when that thing arrived, it was like, well, let's pop that sucker in. Let's see what this is all about.
I was like, I love Mario Brothers.
Man.
Yeah.
At what point did that become incredibly awkward?
About the time
I think it was the first. I think it was the first time in history where people were fast forwarding through the porn stuff. So it's like, yeah, this isn't.
You don't need to see this.
Or
this isn't humorous. This is just.
Was it just when a penis came out?
We were having
like, boobs. This is, oh god, there's a penis. Fast forward.
Well, Ron Jeremy is in it, and if you want to feel insecure,
yeah,
there you go. Yeah,
we've each also taken our picture with Ron Jeremy.
Wow,
that is also true.
Well, there you go. Anyway,
I have a signed photo of the hedgehog himself.
It says, "Keep it wrinkled, sincerely, Ron Jeremy."
Actually, it says "breast wishes," and I'm not making that up.
That's terrible.
All right. We've gotten off track here.
I told you not to do that tweet.
Yeah, but yeah, I'd like to see a Zelda porn parody. Why the hell not? Let's do that.
Tetris. Why get complicated?
That's terrible. That's terrible. That's not funny.
But then you'd have to
Russian
long
girls.
thin piece down the.
It writes itself.
All right, are we done with this episode? I think we are.
To do the L-shaped pieces, you have to hire guys with Peyronie syndrome. It's awkward.
Wow.
Remember we were a family-friendly.
That is my least favorite pizza topping, by the way.
Good Lord.
Call of Booty.
Speak.
Call of Booty seems like an op one.
Wait a second. Was there lag? There was lag. All right, I'll start that over again.
Yeah.
Oh.
Call of Booty.
All right, and that is our show
painful
for this
to end
week.
as there to
Thank
begin.
you very much for listening. If you have a question or would like to comment on something that you heard, you can direct that to @P1Podcast on the Twitter, or you can go to our internet website at player1podcast.com. There you will find show notes for this episode, player1podcast.com/421. Or you will find blog entries, Generation 16 episodes, and a message board where you can discuss this very episode with us and our other listeners.
Ass Ins Creed.
That's good.
If you'd like to subscribe to the Player One Podcast, you can do so by visiting player1podcast.com or by going to the iTunes page. I got the iTunes page. You can also invest $1.99.
Cheap.
Pick up the Player One Podcast iPhone application. Gives one-touch communication with the voice, not voicemails, but emails and Twitters. That's it.
Yeah.
That's it.
Can't believe you're still making that mistake.
Yes, I can't believe you aren't shutting up. I don't.
Wow.
Who cares? No one's listening at this point anyway.
Sure they are.
No one's listening.
They like the music that I put on the end of the show.
That's true. And who wouldn't? You guys have all of our episodes ready to stream right to your listening device. And hey, Android telephone users, the Player One Podcast iPhone application is available for your listening device as well for that same $1.99.
Also cheap.
Mm-hmm.
There we go. Let's see. We're also on that's at the Amazon Android Marketplace. We're on Stitcher. We like us on Facebook. You can see us on the YouTubes. That's youtube.com/P1 podcast. You can watch us live most weeks on the YouTube. Follow our Twitter to find out when we are next broadcasting. Finn is pissed right now. Some other kids are pissed.
My daughter is screaming at me to open her door.
Greg?
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you, Phil.
Thank you. CJ?
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you. Mike?
World
Mike?
of Warcraft.
Thank you, Mike.
Good one.
Thank you, Mike.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Madden 69. No?
I like it. And next week?
Yeah, sure.
I think they should just go with hard driving.
Minecraft.
Good. What about Stun Runner?
Little Big Wiener Part.
All right. See you all next week.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.